Put your hands together and welcome Rich DuPont.
So my mother used to get a lot of nosebleeds, and she thinks because I have intelligence that I would know how to cure them. So I thought about it for a little bit, and I eventually figured out a way to cure her nosebleeds completely. I shot her in the head. Yeah, you can see how good of a memory I have. So a couple of days ago, I was walking down the street, and I came up to a homeless man. Looked like he hadn't eaten in weeks. Clearly he was suffering. I had a $20 bill in my pocket. So I reached in and handed it over to the guy standing next to him for crack. So I was watching this TV show, and the episode was about this guy who shot 19 people, including a congresswoman in Arizona.
Oh.
And, but I eventually turned the station because the episode of Saved by the Bell that was on was a lot better.
Oh, good.
I went over to my friend's house to see if he was home, and his mother answered the door, and she said he wasn't. Then all of a sudden, her eyes rolled to the back of her skull, and she collapsed on the floor. I had no idea what to do, so I went to get some ice cream. I got a call that my friend got in a terrible car accident. The truck driver went through a stop sign, plowed into the driver's side. He fell into a coma. I was so worried about my friend that I rushed down there. But luckily, my $8 pair of sunglasses that was in the glove compartment survived the wreck.
Jesus.
Alright, I've taken a lot of drugs in my life, so I have no memory. A few days ago, I wanted to cook steak for dinner, but I found out that my stove was broken. I had no clue how I was going to get my steak cooked that night. But eventually, I got it cooked and well done. After I fell asleep with a cigarette and my house burned down. They say practice makes perfect, but that's a fucking lie in some instances. Because I've been trying for over 20 years to accurately piss in the toilet and not get it on the seat. So I've decided to be like an animal so I don't feel like a failure anymore. So I decided only to piss outdoors now. So my dad got ran over and dragged by a tortoise. His murderer was born in mid-May. No astrology fans in here? I like to go to church every once in a while just to ask obnoxious questions. Yeah, excuse me. Okay, Christ be with you. So let me get this straight. You want Christ to be with all these people at the same time, and there's a collection plate for money. That sounds like you're trying to prostitute Jesus. I know this girl who developed MS. She eventually lost the use of her legs and was confined to a wheelchair. She was depressed about it all the time. So one day, I wanted to cheer her up. So I bought her a bike. I used to be late for work all the time, until I finally found an excuse that would not only not get me in trouble, they would not even want to check to see if it actually happened. They would always just say, I was severely anal raped. So, my mother has a lot of physical problems that she takes Percocet for. And she's always afraid to drive when she's on it. I have this friend who likes to shoot speedballs. coke and heroin at the same time. And he loves to drive when he's under the influence. I mean, he may be nodding in and out the whole time and has caused six or seven horrible accidents. My point is, at least he's out there trying. All right.